Hello and welcome, my name is Sarah and today we are continuing the modding tutorials. I really felt like today we are finished with interactions. I'm done with interactions, so future episodes of course we will continue doing interactions. If there are any questions, just ask me in the comments down below. But for now, I'm done. I've been doing interactions for the past couple of episodes and I feel like I've covered most of it. And it's all like up to you now to create your own interaction. So yeah, let's go and do something completely different. Something very, very simple that I know everyone can do. If you're just starting out modding, this is the perfect mod to start with. This is how I started with modding. So today we're gonna go and create a aspiration, and to create this aspiration I'm using the mod constructor 5. So that's the program you see in front of me. So to create an aspiration, we're gonna go and click elements. We then have a aspiration category and an aspiration track. So the difference between these two is the aspiration category is literally the category icon that you see when you get into class and you have all these different icons, like wealthy, family, outgoing, I don't know. I mean, like, I play The Sims all the time, but now I just can't think of them at the top of my head. But yeah, these are the categories. For my aspiration, I will not use this, but you can use it if you want to. I do want to open it and show you what it looks like. So it says aspiration category, and then it's just the name and the icon of the aspiration. Super simple. So yeah, I'm going to delete that. I will create the element for aspiration track. So of course we have to go and give it a name. So I'm gonna create a rags to riches aspiration, and for that I'm saying create element. So now I have the name, and the name is automatically generated into an ID. So yeah, now we click on this. If you are using your own aspiration category, you can click on the category over here, and it says now nothing selected. And then if you browse it open, it should pop up in here the aspiration category that you've created yourself. So just click on that and then say select otherwise, open it in The Sims 4 Studios and manually input those numbers in here. So for this aspiration, I'm gonna go and add it to base game and add it to fortunate, because you know this aspiration has to do with money, so I'm gonna add it to the fortunate category. Okay, so now I have filled in a description and I've added the icon. I've shown this multiple times, but you can click on the effect and add a effect icon. So in this case I did aspiration. I will turn the icon yellow. I've added the category, and then for now I'm just gonna go and leave the aspiration complete notification empty, or like how it is, because I like to add that in the end. So the aspiration complete notification is basically the text that will pop up after the aspiration has been completed. Then we can also add a custom cast trade. So in this case, the sim will get the business savvy trade because it's in the fortunate category. But I feel like we're just gonna go and add a custom one. I'm in this case not gonna create one, I'm just gonna pick one from the game. So I chose the trade marketable. I think that's the trade where anything that your sim creates is sold for more simoleons. So now in this case, if your sim chooses this aspiration, the rags to riches aspiration, they will get the marketable trade instead of the business savvy trade. You can also go and create your own if you want to, but for this tutorial I'm not gonna go and create my own. In a future episode we will of course get into creating your own trades. But I really want to focus this episode on only the aspiration. So going from the aspiration track info, we're now gonna go into milestones. So every adult aspiration has 4 milestones. I like to keep mine very similar to EA's, so I'm going to use the 4 milestones as well. So if we open the new objective set, we can go on and give it a display name. So now I have created the 4 names. We having starting with nothing, money, homeowner, and filthy rich. Before we do anything, of course we're going to go and copy the display name. We're going to click in settings. I'm going to say label override, update, settings again, and generate from ID label. I have mentioned this so many times, but it's very important. because if you open this in the Sims 4 Studios, it will now have the weird numbers and it can be so confusing. Okay, so now I've made sure that every milestone has its proper name as well. We're gonna go and click on create objectives. I'm doing this at the top of my head, and I think that the objectives are like 3 for adults. I think for children they're 2. Also milestones for children I think it's 3. But that's only if you want to use EA's way of creating aspirations. So I'm gonna open the new objective and I'm gonna go and give it a name, and the name is basically of what needs to be completed, so that's where you write down. Also, I want to mention is we are creating our own objectives and we're not browsing from the game, because if your sim has already finished the other aspiration, it will automatically already be checked as yes, this is completed. So that's why we want to create our own. Even though we might use the same goals, it's still better just to create your own. So I want to do the first one with you guys. So for the very first objective, I've chosen to go with own a toilet. So this is what you need to do. Then the tooltip is just if you hover over the text in the aspiration section of the game, if you choose the aspiration, and then you can hover over the text. So if you hover over the text, now it will say go into build mode and purchase a toilet. So tooltip is basically just a tip for the player to understand how to finish this goal. Okay, so now if we scroll a little bit further down, we have satisfaction points, and we're gonna choose how many satisfaction points the player is gonna get when they've bought a toilet. So I'm gonna give them 50 satisfaction points, and then we have the completion type. So there are different ones that we can choose from. We can choose for based on objective types, interactions, and the N isn't written there. Okay, and interactions and single situation, unique lots, unique sims, or objects, unique areas. So there are lots of different things that we can choose from. Most of the time I choose the based on objective types, so I just leave it as it is. Now in this case, it is important that we click on only track on the sim's home lot, because my sim will need to own a toilet for this aspiration to be completed, at least this small goal. So if I wouldn't select the only track on sim's lot, then if this sim would travel to any other lot that has a toilet, what is basically any lot, then it will automatically complete, and we do not want that. We want to make sure that it's only tracked on the Sims home lot, so that's why I'm selecting only track on Sims home lot. Okay, so now we're gonna go into primary condition. Nothing is selected here, and this is basically the part where we make sure that if the sim purchased the toilet, that it's going to take off as yes, you've done this goal. So we're gonna click here on the open editor, and there are lots of different things that we can choose from. In this case, we're gonna go and say object on lot condition. So I'm gonna click on that, and it will open a few more things over here. But we're gonna click and say browse object tag. So again, here we have lots of different things that we can choose from. So to make it easier, we're just gonna go and search toilet. So I'm gonna go and say from by category tags, click on the toilet. Okay, so now it is important that we click must be owned by active household. What means the active household must own this item. Then there's an option for craftable, and the quantity of like how many there needs to be. And we could say there needs to be less than 1, or it needs to be exactly 1 or 1 or more. So that's what I'm going to say. Equal, greater or equal is 1 or more, or greater is of course more. So I'm gonna say greater or equal. And then if you want to, you can restrict a simoleon value. So I could have said own a toilet from at least 500 simoleons, and then I would have said greater or equal, and then typed in 500, and now it means that the toilet needs to at least be worth 500 simoleons to be purchased. But in this case, I'm just gonna go and leave it off. So again, copying the name, going into settings and place it in here. Say update. So because I'm doing a tutorial, I am not gonna go and fill out everything. But yeah, if you are creating an aspiration, definitely go and fill out everything. I do want to go in and create another 2 so we can go into game and have a look. So here I created a reach painting skill level 3, and I just want to show you guys this one because it took me a really long time to figure out where the skills were, especially when I just started out. So these skills can be found in the statistic conditions, so it's not the skill tag, it's the statistic conditions. So we're going to click on that. And then on this one over here, we go and scroll down, and then here we have all the skills. So in this case, it's a base game and it's painting. If you are creating an adult aspiration, do make sure that it says adult major. So we're gonna click that. I'm gonna say amount 3, greater or equal. And then for the last one, I'm going to add the money earned condition. And so we can choose the total amount of money earned or the money earned by tag. So I'm just gonna go and say total and say 5,000 simoleons. Now using my Sims 4 modding PDF file, I'm going to copy the simoleon sign. I'll make sure to place it there. Okay, so now we have created the first milestone with the 3 objectives, the 3 goals that needs to be finished to complete the milestone. So go ahead and go and fill all the others in. I'm just gonna go and leave it as is, and I'm gonna go into reward. So once your sim has finished the aspiration, completed all the milestones and everything, your sim will gain a reward, and here we are going to say which reward they will gain. So I'm gonna go and click on create. Again, we can do browse and have a look at all the rewards, but in this case I'm gonna create my own, and then it will say a trait reward, which is most of the times the reward for completing an aspiration. So I'm gonna click on browse and just browse one. I'm not going to create my own again. In the future there will be a trait tutorial. So for this trait I'm going to go and say frugal, and yeah, so now frugal is the reward trait for finishing this aspiration. I'm going to go and click for another reward, and in this case I'm going to go and say let's give them a money reward. So a lower bound is the minimum and an upper bound is the maximum. So here I'm saying the minimum is 20,000 and the maximum is 25,000 simoleons that they can earn after finishing this aspiration. And if we want, we can create as many rewards that we want. And so now we have finished the reward. I'm gonna go back into the aspiration track info, and this is the moment I will fill in the aspiration complete notification, because now I already know what the rewards are going to be. So I like to add that into this text, as in your sim has gained this and this much money, or your sim has gained the trait. So yeah, you know when the notification pops up what your sim has received, and it doesn't just add to your sim without knowing what your sim gets, because sometimes even I get like confused if my sim suddenly gets money and I'm like, wait, how did she get money? You know, that's why it's always good to write the rewards in the complete aspiration notification. Yeah, so now the aspiration complete notification says Lana completed the aspiration, yay, and then it gives 2 blank spaces, and it says reward, frugal trait, and simoleons. So now we have written our complete notification. We're going back into the reward and UI info. I'm going to remove this because it's not a custom trait, and then we're just gonna go and fill this in. So I typed in frugal and then get discount on bills. I would recommend to copy the full description of the trait, but in this case I'm not opening the game, just to have a look at the description, and then just add the icon of the trait. Now once you're finished with this, we can go into wants and fears, and you can add your own wants and fears that you want for this aspiration for as long as they have the aspiration. I'm just gonna go and leave it blank for now. In the future we will get into a wants and fears tutorial on how to create those. Now we have created everything. We're gonna go and click export and export this file, and I put it into game and have a look. So here we are in game. And we're gonna go and click on the aspiration, and now of course you will see there's a new aspiration in the fortune section. So let me click on that, and now I'm gonna go and choose the Rags to Riches aspiration. This one wants to start with nothing and becomes rich, so it's exactly the text that we've written. I'm gonna click on that. So as you might notice, it does say now bonus trade marketable, but if we click on mention bearer, it will change to business savvy. I don't know why the game does that, but it's, you know, the other ones still work as how they were. It's just the Rags to Riches has the marketable. So I'm gonna go and back into game. So here we are with Lana, and now we have our Rags to Riches aspiration. Of course, this sim already owned a toilet, so the own toilet went like, yep, you finished that one. And also if we would click select new aspiration, you can now see it's in here as well. And it will also show the trade you will be rewarded after you finish this aspiration. So yeah, go have a play with that. And we will go and finish these other aspirations. We don't even own an easel. Let's get an easel. Okay, let's put that here and start painting. Let's just do a basic classic painting and wait till we get the yeah, that's what I needed. So how I always test aspirations, I just use the UI cheats mods because it's just so much easier. So I'm gonna click now level 3. And as you could see, also Rage Painting Skill level 3 has now been marked as completed. And then the last one is we needed to earn 5,000 simoleons. So if I say 1,000, would that work? It would not work. Okay, it did work. It just, because it wasn't pulsed, it didn't work. Okay, so let's add another 1,000 to that. And as you can see, it's updating. I just turned off my reshade because it's probably easier to see, but as now you can see it says 5,000. And if I hover over the goals, you can see the tooltip is under the own a toilet text for have earned 5,000 simoleons. I didn't add it, get to the 5,000, so it should update to 3,000, and it did. Add 2 more. And there it is. We finished our Rags to Riches aspiration. So here it now says aspiration complete, and we can go and click a new aspiration, and it will also have its, yeah, we have the frugal trade now and the marketable trade. I didn't check that beforehand, but we did get that one from choosing the Rags to Riches aspiration. And now we can go in here and choose something else. So yeah, also as you can see, that's why I like to say reward, frugal trade and simoleons. I didn't really check, but I think it popped up with the a certain amount of simoleons that we got, because I don't think we almost had 40,000 simoleons. But yeah, that's it. That's how you create aspirations, and it's really fun to do. It takes a lot of work, but it's super simple for a beginner modder to create aspirations. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below, or join my Discord and sign the mod tutorial roles, and I'm more than willing to help you out if you are struggling with something. Yeah, so this is the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye!